In 1916, the world was engulfed in the unprecedented carnage of World War I, a conflict that redefined modern warfare. Along the Western Front, the British, French, and German armies were locked in a brutal stalemate, entrenched across 450 miles of barbed wire and mud-soaked trenches. The Battle of the Somme, one of the bloodiest chapters in this global struggle, would test the resolve of nations and the ingenuity of their generals. This is the story of sacrifice, strategy, and the relentless pursuit of victory, brought to you by AiAmericanGenerals. The Western Front, stretching from the North Sea to the Swiss border, was a landscape of despair, where millions had already perished in a war of attrition. The British and French, determined to break the German occupation of France and Belgium, planned a massive joint offensive for the summer. However, a German assault on the French fortress city of Verdun in February shifted the burden onto the British, who were now tasked with leading the attack along the River Somme. General Sir Douglas Haig, the British commander, faced a daunting challenge. The Somme sector, though quieter than others, was heavily fortified by the Germans, with two formidable defensive lines and a third under construction. Deep dugouts, barbed wire, and machine gun nests made the German positions nearly impregnable. Haig, preferring an attack near Ypres, was forced to act swiftly to relieve pressure on the French at Verdun, despite his troops' lack of experience. The British Fourth Army, under Lieutenant General Sir Henry Rawlinson, spearheaded the offensive. The plan relied on a massive week-long artillery bombardment to obliterate German defenses, followed by an infantry advance to seize key positions. 1,400 guns would fire 1.6 million shells, targeting barbed wire, trenches, and strongpoints. 19 mines, packed with explosives, were dug beneath German fortifications to be detonated just before the assault. The British Third Army would launch a diversionary attack at Gaumecourt, while 16 British and French divisions prepared to advance. High morale fueled the British ranks, many filled with PALS battalions, volunteers from 1914 facing their first taste of combat. Yet, intelligence reports revealed troubling signs. The bombardment had failed to destroy much of the German barbed wire, and their defenders remained largely unscathed in deep dugouts. At 7:30 a.m. on July 1, 1916, the Battle of the Somme began. As the Allied bombardment shifted to the German second line, British and French infantry surged across no man's land. Contrary to myth, not all British troops walked slowly toward the enemy. Many units rushed forward to minimize exposure. Still, German machine gunners, emerging from their dugouts, unleashed devastating fire, particularly where British troops bottlenecked gaps in the barbed wire. In the northern sector, the British suffered catastrophic losses. The 36th Ulster Division briefly captured the Schwaben redoubt, but without support, they were forced to retreat. Small gains, like the Leipzig redoubt and Lochnagar mine crater, were made, but fell far short of objectives. In contrast, the southern sector saw greater success. The British 21st and 7th Divisions took Mametz, while the 18th and 30th Divisions secured Montauban. The French 20th Corps, aided by more effective heavy artillery, achieved all their objectives, capturing thousands of prisoners. Commanders in 1916 faced immense challenges in coordinating attacks. Without reliable field radios, communication relied on fragile telephone lines, messengers, and even homing pigeons. Artillery operated on strict timetables, moving fire to the next line of defenses regardless of infantry progress. This left advancing troops vulnerable if they fell behind schedule. Aerial observation, hampered by weather and enemy aircraft, further complicated efforts to assess the battle's progress. For British commanders, it took hours, sometimes days, to understand the full scope of their losses and limited gains on July 1. The first day of the Somme was a disaster for the British, with 57,000 casualties, a third of them fatal, the bloodiest day in British military history. The French lost 7,000 men, and the Germans around 12,000. The battle raged on for 4 months, ending in November amid freezing rain and mud. The Allies advanced just 10 miles, at a staggering cost, 430,000 British casualties, 200,000 French, and 450,000 German. Despite the horrific losses, the Battle of the Somme was not seen as a failure at the time. It relieved pressure on Verdun, allowing the French to repel the German assault there. The British gained critical experience in trench warfare, refining tactics and coordination. Most importantly, the Somme wore down the German army, a crucial step toward eventual Allied victory. The Battle of the Somme remains a haunting symbol of World War I's brutality, etched in memory as both a tragedy and a turning point. To the soldiers who endured its horrors and the families who mourned their losses, it was a testament to courage in the face of unimaginable odds. For AiAmericanGenerals, the Somme offers timeless lessons in strategy, resilience, and the human cost of war. It reminds us that victory, however hard-won, often comes at a price that echoes through generations. Like and subscribe to AiAmericanGenerals for more stories of sacrifice and strategy that shaped our world.